Hi, and welcome to Brush Tips with Cheri. Today, we have an exciting painting for you. This is more of like an abstract painting, but it is what I think the forest would look like in the fall. So I figured we would go ahead and paint this and just make our fall decor come alive. So as you can see here, this is where like the wind is blowing, and you know how sometimes they get that little tornado of leaves flowing and blowing, I should say, not flowing. So that's what this is right here, kind of going up, and then some of the leaves are falling down too. So a lot of this is just some really fun brush works, and with lots and lots of colors. Look at our paint palette. I love when we have tons of paints. So we have basically all the rainbow ones: fire red, orange, black, yellow, white, some burnt umber, some raw sienna, some phthalo blue, some phthalo green. We get to kind of mix all those together and make our own colors. We also have two brushes today. Fun, fun. We have this Big Daddy right here. See him? He gets the work done. That's why I like to call him my Big Daddy. He comes and he covers our canvas, takes care of everything. Then we have this little tiny guy right here. I forgot the leaf brush. So we are going to use this Big Daddy probably the entire time. And it's okay. It's okay because, you know, not everything in painting is perfect. So let's just wing it with this Big Daddy brush today. First thing we're going to do is we're going to paint this background. So the background is very, very, very light blue. So I want you to start off with some white and maybe grab a tiny little pin prick of blue. Pull it over here to the side. It's very little bit of blue. And then just start painting down. Now it doesn't call for a ton of paint. We just need to have a background on there, okay? This was obviously another painting. In case you can't tell, this was a painting that I did and then I gessoed over the canvas. And that's great. Like at home, if you ever have canvases that you want to reuse, just grab some white paint. If you don't have any gesso, you can just grab some white paint and put it on there and cover it up, and it's like the magic eraser. It just covers everything up. And just keep painting. If your paint's not moving, go ahead and wet your brush, because a wet brush is a happy brush. Touch your paper towel and brush this on. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of tiny bit of more blue here, kind of work it up here. You don't have to go all the way to the bottom of your canvas because our bottom of our canvas is covered with leaves. So it is okay not to go all the way to the bottom. So here in Ohio, the leaves are just now starting to change. I actually thought it was kind of weird. I was outside yesterday and I thought, why are there no leaves on the ground? The leaves actually haven't even started falling. They're just changing colors right now, which I think is a little bit later than normal. I could be wrong. Maybe I just don't pay attention to that stuff very often. And I just haven't paid attention to it in the past couple years. I did notice though this year that my trees have gotten bigger in my yard. It's weird when you start to notice those little things around outside. All right, so we're gonna let this dry a second. And if you're painting along, now's the time to go and let your dog out. Go make a nice cup of coffee or tea, maybe take a little break for a second. You know, grab a snack. If you're not eating sugar like me, then maybe get like air. Get some air and eat some air. Yeah, it's pretty much what I feel like I've been eating lately. It's fun though. It's fun. Okay. So this is going to dry pretty quick because it's just a thin layer. I'm going to go right into, let's clean this brush off. Swish it around the water. You hear that water swishing? I am going to go right into working on the bottom. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this black. I'm going to bring it over here to this phthalo blue, darken it up a little bit. I'm going to grab a big chunk of white and I'm going to bring it in. And I'm just going to be kind of messy down here. I almost want it to be kind of gray brown. We can even grab some of that brown too. And just kind of throw this, just so that there's a background color. It doesn't even have to be blue if you don't want to make it blue. You want to make it yellow or green or whatever, that's fine too. Pick any color. Just as long as we have a little bit of a background. So when we add the leaves, if we miss any spots, then we can, then we'll just see this darkness behind it. All right, hit the bottom of your canvas and the sides. Remember, we forget about those guys all the time, and that's okay. This is blue, real light blue, so it's okay to forget about them sometimes. Just make sure that you come back in and grab them. So I'm just real lightly going to clean off what's on my brush, bring it up here. I should just put this back so you guys can see it. I'm hogging it to myself. I'm like a canvas hog, taking it, not letting anyone look at it. It's like if I stood right in front of it. There we go, perfect. Let's clean that big daddy off. And we're going to put some trees on. We can use this little brush. We can use this little tiny baby brush. Scoop him out of the water there. And let's mix a little black with a little brown. And then all I want you to do is just make a straight line. It doesn't even have to be perfect, okay? Add a couple of little light branches. Maybe add another one here. See how it's kind of like really, really faded? You can just keep adding these little light, not even all the way up. You know, you have to go all the way up. Trees are all different sizes. And don't worry about this down here. We're going to fix all those, and we're going to add some leaves over them, so they're just going to kind of blend all in, okay? So don't freak out if you're over here freaking out about them. Don't freak out. I've got you. Take care of you here. See how I'm just real lightly kind of hitting these? I don't want a ton of them. And I want some little ones too. That's one of our popular paintings right now at the studio. People have been requesting this one quite a bit because it's fun and it's pretty and it's colorful and it's pretty easy too. I'm going to take a look at it, and they're not even straight. So yours will be straight because you'll be standing right in front of it. Unlike me, it's all right. We like unstraight stuff here. Because Mother Nature isn't perfect either, right? So who cares? We just want to be happy painting. Add a couple of little tiny branches. And there's not a ton on here, and that's okay. Obviously, today I felt like adding a bunch. Okay. Normally, this is where I would take the medium brush and make some leaves, but since I don't have the medium brush, we're going to use this Big Daddy brush. If I use a little brush, it might take me a really long time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these yellows and this orange and just real lightly bump this. These leaves are going to be kind of big with this brush, but that's okay. We're not adding a whole bunch everywhere. We're just kind of hitting the canvas in different areas. There we go, perfect. I love the yellows. The yellows really just kind of make everything come to life. Now, the reason why we did the smaller trees and we also ended them at different places, it's so we give our woods depth, okay? So you could see some look like they're further back and some look like they're further up. So definitely do that when you're painting this painting. Let's grab some orange. Orange, orange. I kind of like this Big Daddy brush taking care of us right now. It's kind of giving me different sizes. I like it. What if it sang like, I love it when you call me Big Papa? You know that song? You probably don't. It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes I like to rap. That's okay. That's what we're going to call it, Big Papa brush. How about that? I wonder if people just watch this and they're like, is she seriously off her rocker? I'm going to blame it on being an artist. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. So let's add a whole bunch of orange in here just to start building up our floor. And we want to start building up almost into a circular motion, okay? This is where the wind is going to catch those leaves and going to start pulling them all into a big circle here. We're going to bring them up. So start bringing this into a circle. Perfect. Awesome. I need to add some yellow in here too. And we're going to let this part dry because we don't want to add that blue and green over that orange. Once we do that, who knows what happens. You're right, we get muddy. I'm going to take a little bit of this raw sienna and mix it with this yellow too. Kind of start adding in some over here, hit the bottom. Doot, 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 doot. There you go. Perfect. Add some of those raw sienna leaves in there. I'm trying to see here. I'm going to clean off this brush. Let me add a couple here. We're going to clean off this brush. And I'm going to start bringing in the other colors, the greens and the blues. I actually have some purple in there too, and I know that there aren't leaves that are purple, but since there's no rules in art and in painting, we can do whatever we want, right? So, whatever makes you happy, do it. So, I'm going to grab a little bit of red and a little bit of blue, more on the red side just because it makes it more realistic. You can also grab a little scoop of white, see what color that is, see how it makes that real pretty like bluish purple red. And let's use Big Papa here. That's his new name. We're going to call him that. Probably not. I'll still probably call him Big Daddy, but same thing. Hit this, hit this. Just start filling all this in, almost like a scribble. You almost want to look like you're scribbling here. Grab some regular blue. Throw, oh, you know what? We better get some of these reddish purple ones over here, because if not, we're only going to have them over here, and it's going to look a little silly. Not that it matters. Perfect. Perfect. So when you are done painting this, please, please, please make sure that you send us a picture, because we love to see what your paintings look like when you're painting along with us. So we do encourage you to look us up on Facebook, email us, whatever. Send it in to the TV station. Whatever you want to do, send us in your paintings. We're just going to add a couple little blue ones through here. through here. Let's add a couple. Whoop, we got a little muddy. That's all right. It's all right. Here we go. I love this. Clean off my brush real good. I'm going to grab some of this brown and a little bit of green. Raw sienna, or not the raw sienna, the burnt umber and the phthalo green, and I'm just going to start adding some dingier leaves. Perfect. I love it. This is making my day. This is a huge stress reliever for a lot of people, is painting. So when you hear people say like, oh, I don't even care what it looks like, I just want to paint. That's when our paintings seem to turn out super awesome, is when we just have zero expectations and we set aside all of our projects from the day and what we've been up to, what we're thinking, what we're doing, and we just paint. We just get right in there with our brushes. We just do whatever brings us joy in our painting. Now, as you can see, mine is also turning out a lot different than this one. Obviously, I'm thinking more like summer today because we've got a lot of green in there. So I'm going to put this green away, because if I don't, I'm just going to continue to grow the green. So I'm going to rinse this green right out of this brush, and I'm going to add some more yellows. Dry this guy off, and actually I'm going to add some red. I haven't added just straight red yet, so I'm going to add a little bit of red. Perfect, perfect. Now, obviously, if you love red and you want to add a whole bunch of red, we encourage you to do that. Or if you want to just add some yellow, whatever, this is your painting. I want you to do what makes you happy with it. Here we go, perfect. Let's add a bunch of red inside this hot mess of a baby right here, this baby hot mess. I don't know why I'm calling it a baby, maybe because it looks little. It is kind of a baby, it's brand new, we're just now creating it. Oh, Big Papa's messing up now. Oh, you know what we're doing this weekend? Name that tune. So if anyone knows how to play that game before this weekend, shoot me a message and tell me, because I have no idea, and I really am not great at it. I tried to play with my at-home speaker the other day, and apparently it did not want me to play that. And it was asking me trivia, and I was so mad. I was like, stop asking me trivia. I don't want trivia. Because I don't. I needed that tune. Like, name that tune. So I'm excited because I'm on Joanna's team, and Joanna hangs out here at the TV station. Look at this guy. Oh, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Clean off that brush again. Did you hear that swooshing around in there? I'm going to add a little bit of white, okay? Some of these have lighter colors. I'm going to take some of this orange. I'm going to move it over here to this white. Mix it together and just make a lighter shade, almost like a peachy orange. Just to brighten this guy up. Check it out. L-O, L-O, L-O. L-O-V-E. See that? Look at, we love it now. Do you see how it just like brought all of this to life over here? didn't make it look so sad. So let's bring a little up here. This guy's kind of naked. Let's hit this guy over here with this light color. Let's hit some of this lighter color up here. Perfect. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's looking awesome. Rinse this brush out again. You probably didn't need to do it as crazy as I just did in my cup, but like, why am I rinsing it that hard? I'm going to add a little pink. So a little bit of white mixed with the red. I'm almost going to make like a scribbly effect. Add a little pretty pink leaves through here. Real lightly with this big brush. If you have the right size brush, then definitely use your whole brush, but if you just are using Big Daddy, only use the side of him. I'm going to grab some straight white. Whatever's left on my brush with that red, I'm just going to grab some of it. Kind of play around here, play around there, just giving some depth. So one more thing that I need to do here once I get the rest of these leaves on is I need to bring back in my trees. So you could see that they're all kind of hidden now behind the wind tunnel of leaves. And I don't want that. So I'm going to bring some yellow in too, more yellow. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. Did you see how that just brightened it up? Do you see the depth of the colors in your canvas? Do you see how just throwing a couple things on here, it just makes such a world of difference. Brings your painting to life. It brings your painting into this happy place. Just kind of throwing them on there. So pretty. This is probably one of my favorite paintings this year. I'm gonna rinse off that brush real good. I'm gonna grab this little tiny brush, this little baby, okay? I'm gonna bring back in that brown and that green, mix those two together. And I'm gonna add just these real lightly back in. Real lightly, a couple of them back in, okay? Then I'm gonna cover them back up again down here with these leaves. So don't freak out like, oh my gosh, now they're on top of the leaves again. We're gonna cover them again. So don't panic here. Panic at the disco, at the tree show. I'm gonna add a couple more branches to this guy here. Perfect. I'm liking it. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I have a couple little black marks on that original one. So just take a little bit of black. And I think I just have a couple little dash marks. You see how that just kind of made this little depth come out? Check it out. There we go. Perfect. And I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. It's however you want it. You can take this little brush and hit it a couple times down here with some of that black, just to make some real light textures. You can grab a little bit of orange or a little bit of yellow and kind of go around here, the base of these trees. Throw those on there. Bring this tree out from behind the woods. Clean that little guy off. That's again very I'm like viciously swishing it through the water and I don't know why. All right, let's take a look at it. I'm gonna look at it straight on, which is a little crooked, but the original isn't. When you're standing in front of it, your original won't be. when you're painting to the side, which I don't recommend, don't paint to the side. Let's see, I'll kind of shade this out a little bit. Bring this tree back in with whatever's left on my brush. I'm just gonna grab a little tiny bit of this burnt umber here and just real lightly kind of pull some of this out. Pull some of this one and go a little lighter with this one. And nobody said I was a good singer, so don't you worry about it. I'm trying to think, anything else? Maybe we should add a little bit more orange up here. In that original, there's a lot of orange. And I feel like I didn't add a lot of orange. So, finishing touches here. Really, really quick, just pull some more oranges in here if you have too much green like I do. Okay. There we go, look at that. There, perfect. That's what it needed. And then, like all great artists that we are, let's grab that little tiny baby brush again. Let's grab a little tiny bit of white. And what I want you to do is own your painting. Be proud of it, be happy, and sign your name. Well, don't sign your name as CS. Just sign it, your initials, and own that painting. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again soon.